So somebody's going to come over and show us what's in the piles in a little bit, but first we'll just start with some basics. So there's 4 approved methods of disposal in the United States, or especially in North Dakota here. So rendering, burial, incineration, and composting.
Okay. Rendering, what does mean rendering?
So rendering is where somebody comes and picks it up, they take it to a facility, and they essentially boil it down to make another product out of it. So it's like, we don't do it a lot here, but a lot of other states like Nebraska.
So it's like making probably feed or
not feed, probably more of like dog food type stuff.
Dog food supplement,
yes.
okay.
Yes, burial. So we just dig a hole and put them in. Incineration is burning, but it's burning with certain filters on to make sure that we're not emitting certain emissions into the environment. And composting, which is what we do here.
Okay, who's making a decision what to do with the dead animal?
So here at the center, this is just something that we've decided to do, composting. We used to bury them, but we compost now because that's what our Department of Health suggests that we do, and we're trying to get other producers to do it. And so we have demonstrations here so they can actually come and see that it works.
Okay, so who does regulate this? I mean, like, this is like the health department?
Yep, so the Department of Health at our North Dakota Department of
State agency.
And who's making a decision, for example, I mean, like, that these animals couldn't be composted, so it should be burned, for example?
Okay, so pretty much all of them here are composted. The only reason that we would burn or bury something is if it might possibly have a disease, and it's going to have to be a pretty bad disease before it's not safe to compost. Okay. So what we do is we start with 2 feet of straw or carbon. That's the base. And then we put our carcass on top. And then we cover it with manure, about 6 inches of manure. And so the manure adds extra nitrogen, but then it also adds extra bacteria and good bugs to get stuff going, to get the whole heating process started. And then we cover that manure with another foot of straw or carbon on top to really keep out all of the any predators that might be around, to keep the smells in, and to keep the heat in.
How much time does it take? I mean, like...
Yep. So, a mature cow or a bull takes about 8 months for all the soft tissue to break down. And so you can smell today because we have some stuff that's not covered. But the majority of that smell is coming from the waste feed that we put on top of it, actually. So sometimes the stuff you cover them with smells worse than actually what's in the pile. So I'm going to have Tyler come and open the pile for us. And so if we just step back a little bit. Yep. So that's what's in this pile. It was started about a month ago, and this is all that's left. So I told you about 8 months, but it depends on what the temperature is outside, how mature the animal is. So this is what we see after a month with the feedlots here. Last week it was about 120 degrees inside the pile. And you can come and touch if you, not touch, but feel right here, you can feel the heat coming off of it. So we have some soft tissue right there. Otherwise, it's just a lot of clean bones that are left. And so after the process is done, the bones are separated out. The ones that don't decay, we put those back in a pile with a fresh carcass, and then the nutrients are hauled out onto the field.
Okay, how many animals are you composting in a year? So
that really depends on the year and what our mortality rate is. So we probably have one every 3 months maybe that dies here. Calving season would probably be the most, just because, there's potential there for backwards calves, dead calves, stillborn. So during calving season we probably have more, but otherwise our mortality rate is very low here. But everything is composted that dies.
How much time it takes for the compost to manure get ready, and when manure is going to get to the fields? How much time how long it takes?
It kind of depends on how you want to manage it. Here, we have enough room, so that stuff is probably 5 years and older. Our new pile down there it's probably 2 years old. So the far end of these green weeds here, that would be starting 2 years ago. And so some producers, they will, as soon as it's done, so it gets to this point, they're ready. They'll separate out the bones and take it out to the field. Some of them will go ahead and hold it for a while. So it just depends on your management system.